this wide receiver in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And this one through the uprights and good. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they're going to go soft on the corners. They come up in an offset eye. The slot man in motion right. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. Are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. A dime look defensively for the Raiders on third down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to take another shot here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And complete over the middle. Safarian Jenkins. 26 yards on the play there. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock. Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They run. Devontae Freeman. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. And they'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down right about the 20. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And Cundiff able to knock it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to float this one deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Give him 8 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it, and this will be incomplete.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll look to throw, finding time. Buying time to his left. That's caught at the 1, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll drop to throw, and that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back?
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and then get that onside kick. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a loss of 18. And it's going to be third down and forever. So the D-line's going to spread out.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that a defense gets excited about.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. Here's John Ryan now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. This is a live ball taken inside. And he's in! Are you kidding me?
How do you give that up?
One of the most improbable ways to finish a game, and they do win it on the final play.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Oh, man, we just saw it moments ago. What a great win. A touchdown to cap the game as the clock hit zeros.
I don't care how you finish it. It's always dramatic to win on the last play of the game. But when it's a touchdown and not a field goal, even more dramatic. Phenomenal finish.